Hello everyone, and welcome to another edition of Salukimania. I'm SIU writer Todd Hefferman, and with me is sports editor Les Winkeler, and we're here to talk some Saluki hoops. The men are playing Missouri State tomorrow night. It's the return of former Saluki Paul Lusk, who is now the head coach at Missouri State. Is it going to be kind of a home game for them tomorrow night, you think?
Well, Kyle Smith-Peters is back too, which is it's an interesting combination. It'll be fun. I think there's going to be people in the stands to see both Paul and Kyle. Paul had a very good career here, and Kyle, of course, is from nearby Harrisburg. So I think that'll draw some fans in to see them. And this might be a game that the Salukis can pull out. It's if we're going to avoid a Thursday night appearance, it's one they're going to have to win. It's not going to be easy. They're going to have to play better, smarter than they did against Evansville on Saturday, but. You never say never until it's in the bank, I guess.
Yeah, it'll be a low-scoring game, I imagine. And Missouri State is actually in a similar situation when SIU played up there a couple of weeks ago. Their big center, Caleb Patterson, is coming off an injury. He's missed the last 3 or 4 games with a sprained ankle. Paul Lusk said today on the teleconference that he thinks it's a game-time decision. He nearly played their last game on Saturday, but he did not. Because they need him for the long haul, and they're smart enough to know they're going to be contending for the championship in the end, or at least possibly an NIT or CBI, some kind of playoff bid possibly too. But if he comes back, I think he scored 15 when he came back. He's a very tough matchup because he's about 6'10". He's not as big as Gene Teague, but he's 6'10". He's bigger than anybody SIU has. And he'll stretch the defense because you have to play him at the three-point line because he's about a 45-50% shooter out there. Plus you got Weems on the other side.
Right.
So either way, SIU is going to have to play a level above what they've played before to be in this game because they were buried early. They made it. They got within, I think, 7 or 8 at Springfield and never got closer than that.
And that's become a recurring theme with this team. It's that they either start very well or they're just putrid at the beginning. And it's been either or all year long. I mean, they got off to a great start against Evansville, and that was a good enough to. I mean, they never lost the lead. Technically, Evansville tied the game late, but SIU never gave up the lead. But that's been the story of this team all year long. You can almost tell in the first 5 minutes whether or not they're going to have a chance to win it. And to their credit, they've made some good runs at people late in games, but they've got themselves buried so deep that they couldn't dig their way out. So. You know, it's a little bit of a generalization to say, that the first 5 minutes will determine the outcome, but, the way this team has played is going to give you a pretty good idea.
And they've lost so many games in the first 5 minutes. I think is what you're saying.
Right.
And I think you're absolutely right. They've lost so many games in the first 5 minutes, and it's really hard to bury somebody in the first half at this level, but it's true. Like, they get down 17-5. Now at home, it's a little bit different. When they've been on the road, I can't remember a time other than the Springfield game where they got within 6 or 8. They have rallied at all. Like they've never taken the lead. They've never gotten back into the game the last couple of times. But at home, even against Wichita, they cut that lead to 6. It's just lately they do not play very well from behind.
And let's be perfectly honest about it. This is not a real good offensive team. It's not even a good offensive team. They struggle scoring from the perimeter. And the other night, some of the ridiculous things against against Evansville, they missed a dunk down the stretch. They missed They missed 2 open layups down the stretch where you put those balls in the basket, and you're probably not going to have them breathing down your throat like they were. But this team just isn't good enough to sustain things over a long period of time, and defensively, they certainly don't play well enough where they're going to shut somebody down or they're capable of shutting somebody down for 5 minutes. So. Yeah, they get behind. It's a struggle.
But at the same time, they do have a chance to stay out of Thursday. They're not going to have a winning record. We've already statistically, that's a statistical certainty. They're not going to have a winning record when they go to the tournament. But they're 2 games out of 3rd place technically, and they've lost the split. They've lost the sweep to Wichita, and split with Evansville. Swept Bradley. Evansville and Bradley are going to be in the mix. They're in the bottom 4. Illinois State they split with, so it's possible, but they still have to go to Drake. Creighton comes here on Valentine's Day, wonderful date night if you don't have any plans, I'm sure, and they have to host UNI is a winnable game too at the very end of the regular season.
Yeah, the teams that you think that they would have maybe an even chance of winning, beating those are the teams that they're playing on the road now. So that's gonna make things more difficult. You're right. Technically, they have that third place spot as a brass ring, but realistically, that's probably not going to happen.
So we'll see how they do tomorrow night. It'll be a low-scoring game, I imagine, in the 60s, but tip-off is at 7 o'clock, and we'll be doing a live blog on our website, thesouthern.com, so hope to see you at the game.